because it's quarantining weird. Today we're gonna be playing some Minecraft. This is crazy. Go Papa Baby Dabba. Ain't no party like that party. Ain't no party like my party. Hey.
Do you want to sit in the car and do nothing? In my car that has no charger?
Me,
Yeah, you.
I can.
No, with the car off, so then your battery's gonna run out. Because I have a delivery to make, and if you can't calm down, I can't leave you here.
Today it's Friday. Is that your mom?
So I recommend hopefully getting some professional friends or asking people around the
Mom, you gotta fix some notification. Fix some notification.
Well, that's not important. I'm peeing right now.
I hit my trying to get that.
do not want to be a sticker, you probably have like a whole set. So I recommend hopefully getting some professional friends or asking people around the circle. Please be polite safely. You do not want to be a stereotypical blue backpacker. Oh, would you look at that? He's broken. Anyways, you're probably wondering what the second method is because I said there are two. We're moving on to the next really important tip in just a second, but I have to cover the Beavers catalog. Now, if you're not playing during Beesmas, this doesn't apply to you, but when Beesmas comes every single year, you want to buy the mythic egg from the catalog. My gosh, if you want a mythic bee, this is a very good way to get it. All it takes is a bunch of macro, get a ton of snowflakes, and you're all good. Now,
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't sound too enthusiastic. I will let you do it.
Well, there's a few things. First off is the mythic bee.
No, you're not. But now I just feel like you're only calling because you feel bad, and I don't want you to feel like you're obligated to call.
Honey, you're gonna get. Use this honey to buy the golden ring.
I don't know.
Porcelain zipper. If you didn't know, by the way, please do not buy the scarf staff. It is
I'm just saying, I don't want you to feel pressure to even to call because I said, oh, don't care about my feelings. I don't want you to feel obligated to call.
Shouldn't be getting bees for your hive.
Why
Not
are you-
only does this let you make more honey, it boosts
I'm gonna get I already did wash my hands.
I just don't feel comfortable leaving you here in front because you guys fight. So if you're gonna do that, then just don't talk to me.
A lot of people want to expose their spirit petals, and while this technically is more mid-game, you will end up getting your first spirit petal at the end of early game. So you should know that it's actually insanely good for you getting the petal and you want to get some things, and my goodness, it's a lot cheaper than the petal dog. But believe me when I say this, some felt so much better.
I'm telling you, I don't think
And
it's
decent,
like
you can
he's
survive
for
the
me to
porcelain
leave.
dipper just fine.
Connor, don't pick on him. He's not gonna pick on you. And if you're going to pick the job, please don't pick him.
I'm not.
Next tip is
I'm
actually
not
to help you progress faster.
Do not stick your hands
Probably one of the
everywhere.
most important things on this video. But I very quickly have to say once again for the pedals, but I very quickly do have to butt in and say it's also
And the fact that you're pushing me out is just
when it comes to setting your star jelly to but once again, just keep in mind the pedal belt does take 25 although if you are get some once again 50 feet here is the level check and you're
Huh?
now there are still a ton of tips left, but now we get to get into the most important tips of this video. Starting off with number one, macro. This is probably going to help you out with every single other tip I've said previously. This doesn't have to be too crazy, might I add, but if you're an early game player right now, now and don't know what macro is, I highly recommend you look into it. But macro is essentially this program that grinds the game for you. That way, if you're not online playing, something else is. Don't worry, it is completely safe. You cannot get banned from this. Tens of thousands of players use this. I promise you, it is safe. But definitely look into macroing. This can help you get a ton of honey. It can auto grind all your mobs for you and collect all the free loot. It can get you a ton of free stingers, so that way you can get a vicious bee fast. I mean, hey, how do you think I got almost...
The question is it for free?
It can also do a ton more for you, so just auto your requests.
We have to be on-
Definitely save for later. Now moving on to our next tip, which is actually a mistake a ton of early game players make. Because right now you're in early game and there is
So it's only
much
available
going
on PC?
There's so many new mechanics, and so I'm gonna
Do you have it?
play right now and say there are two things you are not supposed to worry about right now. Number one, if you're early game, don't worry about bee equips. These are good, but as an early game, they don't provide too much of a buff. So for now, don't worry about bee equips. You can worry
I can
more
show you
about
after I
that
beat
when
the
you reach
coconut
mid-game and
crab.
end-game. The same thing also goes for stickers.
You just have to install it?
About the stickers. Gosh, there is so much. I can talk for an hour on these stickers. So do yourself a favor in early game right now and just don't stress about it. Until you
I
learn
can show you
sticker
after I
values,
beat
I
the
don't
coconut
recommend trying to trade too much or donating to your sticker stack just because you want to make sure you're doing all the right things with your stickers. But while stressing about stickers and being too much right now, there is one thing that will. I kid you not, if you make this mistake, you are setting yourself up for a miserable time. That is hive colors. Everyone always wants to choose a hive color. Do you want to be a macro blue hive that makes billions macroing? Do you want to be a red hive that does so much damage and makes honey? Or do you want to be a highly sought after white dummy hive, which makes it onto the leaderboards? The answer is, it doesn't freaking matter right now. You are an early game player. The whole point of early game is getting an intro to the game, getting a feel on all the mechanics, learning how to play. Hive colors are for endgame, when you're more experienced. You might say, well, I can just prep a little right now. I'll get a bunch of rupees in my hive and then buy the bubble. Experience in mid-game that some of the items no longer take honey to craft. Now you need things like
I'm not even in
extras,
mid-game, I'm
oils to craft.
I'm in, like,
More than just a little bit
beginner
more.
end
So that's
game,
where the blender comes in. Obviously, you go to the blender, you put in your fruits and your jellies, and boom, you can craft some stuff. But of course, this costs you treats, and you're gonna cause yourself a lot of pain if you're wasting all your treats on your bees. So if you're looking to level them up, only feed the actual treats themselves. You know, the ones that are called treats. Only feed those. Your sunflower seeds, strawberries, pineapples, and blueberries should be saved for further crafting. Same thing with bitterberries, neon berries, and moon charms. Your moon charms you're going to need for a good moon amulet. So make sure that you're saving these things, that way you can actually craft the gummy mask in the future. Now, while the moon amulet is pretty good,
I already
it
have the
pales
gummy
in
mask.
comparison to the great Supreme Star amulet, which is a huge breaking point for a lot of mid-game players. Because of course, as a mid-game, your first thought is time to choose a hive color. I want to be a white hive because they make quadrillions of honey. I'm gonna be on the leaderboard. Nope, pause, hold up a sec. Whoa. Hive colors are a really big thing. For example, being a blue hive isn't as simple as getting a few blue big hives. They make quadrillions of honey. I'm gonna be on the leaderboard. Nope, pause, which is a huge breaking point for a lot of mid-game players. Because of course, as a mid-game, your first thought is time to choose a hive color. I want to be a white hive because they make quadrillions of honey. I'm gonna be on the leaderboard. Nope, pause, hold up a sec. Whoa. Your first thought is time to choose a hive color. I want to be a white hive. Because they make Star Amulet. This might actually be the best tip in the video so far. That's that before you choose a hive color, you want to make sure you have a Supreme Star Amulet. Don't choose your hive color too early, and that's because hive colors in mid-game just don't make as much honey. You don't have the amulets, which is the main part, and you don't have access to a full 50p hive. So up until you actually obtain Supreme Star Amulet, you should be a mixed hive at least. That's because it allows you to complete quests easier, like Riley Bee or Bucko Bee, or really any other bear. Now when you actually do reach the Supreme Star Amulet and are thinking about choosing a hive color, there's a few things you should know. You don't want to go for a double passive burst, probably because first of all you can't even afford it, but also because even if you can, they're not too worth it right now. Your goal is just to get a good single one, Hot Star for blue hives, Double Star for white hives, and Supreme Star for red. As for the hive color I recommend being either a blue hive or a red hive first. white hive. I'll explain why. And that's because blue hives and red hives are extremely mid-game friendly. The stars are easy to get from the star amulet, and blue hives are extremely easy to beat because all you have to do is macro in the game and you make a ton of honey. As for red hives, they're pretty good and they're pretty easy to boost at. Not to mention, you don't need too
Go to
many
coconut
materials
seed,
for either.
like a
White
lady
hives,
from
on the other hand, are
coconut.
extremely different. Just because you need a ton of goo, you need to make sure you have the gummy gear and usually ults. And if you don't have the gummy baller, white hives are not really that good. So please be a blue hive or a red hive at first, just so you learn how to game. Then once you get enough honey and regen gains after you can become a white. And if you ever do manage to save up enough for a double passive, just keep in mind it is much better to get a really good singular passive than to have a crap double passive. Please don't sell your life saving for 2 passives. It's not worth it. Now, of course, to be able to afford those amulets, you're going to need a bit of honey. That's why my next big tip is to know how to boost. Obviously,
Stop
my
the field. Ah!
learn. Watch videos online of honestly, you might not even need to because boosting mid-game is really simple. Just get some microconverters, use one of the field boosters, and boom, you can just farm honey for the next couple of minutes. Boosting actually gets complicated in endgame. You don't have to worry about that right now. Now, while boosting is a really great way to get honey, you can obviously go the AFK route, which is macro, of course. Now, if you're a mid-game player and don't know what macro is, I highly recommend you actually go and figure out really fast before you continue with this video, just because it can make you absolute millions, billions, and trillions of honey. But once you do have macro, you want to make sure you macro some honey because it's nice, but it's so much more than just good for honey. As a mid-game player, macro can be your everything. I don't want to give a full-fledged mid-game macro guide, but some things I would suggest are, first of all, red hives are extremely mid-game friendly. The stars are
Yes,
no
I will
pause,
go
hold
to
on. Whoa. Hive colors are a really big thing. For example, being a blue hive isn't as simple as getting a few blue bees. You need amulets, you need bee whips, you need to make sure you know the hive bonuses, and most importantly, you need a good Supreme Star amulet. This might actually be the best tip in the video so far.
Go, I
That's
beat
that
the
before
coconut
you
crab.
choose a hive
All
color, you
this
want to make
loot
sure you have a Supreme
before
Star
you-
amulet. Don't choose your hive color too early, and that's because hive colors in mid-game just don't make as much honey. You don't have the amulets, which is the main part, and you don't have access to a full 50p hive. So up until you actually obtain Supreme Star Amulet, you should be a mixed hive and beast. That's because it allows you to complete quests easier like Riley Bee or Bucko Bee, or really any other bear. Now when you actually do reach the Supreme Star Amulet and are thinking about choosing a hive color, there's a few things you should know. You don't want to go for a double passive first, probably because first of all you can't even afford it, but also because if you
Yeah, I'll play with macro. Alright. Thank you for downloading. Okay, I don't care. I'm clicking. Oh my god. Here, stop. Really? You're right. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Cancel it. No. What is? Okay, don't care. Don't care about the internet. Don't care. Okay, open. Okay, here. Gotta make sure the iPad doesn't fall. Look, are you looking? Look, are you looking?
Mm-hmm.
No, you're not. Man, this thing is touchscreen. Oh, I really shouldn't have done that. Anyway, start. I could be. I really want to see what it is. Look. to Roblox. No, no, no. I'll just continue. And then we just go back to Roblox. You go back to Roblox, open the macro here. There's more. It's better if I have touchscreen. Okay, here. See? You get to have all these tops in this. So that's what matters. Even though you didn't pay attention. Oh my goodness, this is so today. 50%. Oh, I don't want to. Okay. Hot Cheetos it is.
You're doing any, mini, money, mo. What?
Really? That seems like my favorite soda. We don't even have any.
God, I hope you know Pepsi. People keep on saying that Pepsi is a ripoff of Coke.
Pepsi. Like, it has the same taste, but it has a light taste. Oh, what's the point of my mouth if I have the light on? God dang. Oh, gosh. Alright. What am I? Actually, I'm gonna install OP Autocorrect. I'm gonna have both of those. First, I need to start boosting. OP Autocorrect. Let me download it. Oh my gosh, bro, just download it. Nope, I'm not doing that. Wait, let's just go to downloads. I think I already have it. See more. Bro, I only have Nitro Macro, bro. Okay, let me just OP Autocorrect. Go. Oh, come on. I don't care. I know it's free. Open the file. Open the file. Come on. Okay, don't care. Oh my gosh. I don't care. Fine. Fine, dude. Okay, I don't care. I shouldn't take this one. Bro. Dang. Okay, now we got
Can't not too worth it right now. Got these Grandmaster badges, mate. When you reach endgame in Beast Form Simulator, the difficulty ramps up, and every single choice you make becomes crucial. your hive color. Now keep in mind, even if you've already chosen a hive color, this is still one of the most important tips in this video. Now everyone always makes this mistake when choosing hive colors. It's the fact that they choose one that is involved with them. So how do you know which one is right for you? Well, for starters, there's blue hives. Blue hives are for people who don't really play the game too much. But it's also for people that macro a ton. So if you've gotten quite accustomed to macro, you use it a lot, 24/7, just your average bee swarm player, then being a blue hive is perfect for you because that's exactly how they make their honey. Blue hive is more so on the AFK grinding side. So if you find that you're actually macroing in Bee Swarm Simulator more than you yourself play the game, then it's probably best if you become a blue hive. After that, of course, is red hives. Red hives are for actual Bee Swarm players. And the great thing about red hives is we all know they have amazing attack. Red hives use all those insane attack bees in their hives. Spicy bees, precise bees, rage bees, all of that goes into a red hive. I don't know so much about the rage bees, but it's all there. Of course, you shouldn't switch to red hive just because you want attack. Red hive is pretty players who actually play the game. In my opinion, it's the most chill hive color. You can go on, you casually grind, you don't need a crazy butt ton of materials to boost, you can just go on, and you can honestly make a pretty legit amount of honey just by red boosting. As a professional red hive, you can make a couple hundred trillion honey in just a few. So if you'd say you actually play the game a fair amount, then that's why I'd say switch to red hives. What about white hives? Well, white hives in specific are for the top end game players. Blue hives, yeah, they're chill, you can macro. Red hives, they're even more chill. You hop on, you play some Bee Swarm Simulator, make it fair. White hives, pure pain. It is so hard to do mushrooms as a white hive because you're macro.
Does it smell
White
good
hives
to you?
need thousands of gumdrops and stingers for boosting. You need multiple alt accounts plus
I know.
every single time you boost. Not to mention boosting itself is the most stressful thing ever because you have to keep an eye on time attack precision, keeping up precise marks, lining up your gummy ball, throwing your gummy ball, monitoring your gummy star, trying to stretch marks, stalling on smiley tokens. It is
Yeah,
the
but
most
that's just a
stressful
little
thing
weird.
ever. But you make a buttload of honey. Oh my gosh, you do. Believe me when I say, white hives, while they may be the toughest hive to beat, you will still make a ton of honey. Well, white hives don't make a ton of honey macro means they make absolute bank when it comes to boosting. I know I've already stated that as a blue hive or red hive, you can make a couple hundred trillion. White hives,